Hello, I hope you're all doing well. Now, in this session, we'll be doing Class 10 CBSE Geography, Lesson 1 Resources and Development, Part 2. Now, land resources. We'll be doing land resources. Now, what is a land resource? It is a very important yet limited natural resource. This is where human beings do their economic activities, and land supports wildlife, human life, agriculture, economic activities, transport, communication, industries, and so many other things. So we have to be very careful in using land. Land is an asset of a finite magnitude. So it is our duty to use the available land for various purposes with careful planning. Now let us see how land is distributed in India. Now out of the 3.4 percentage of total area that India occupies in the world, land distribution, it has a variety of relief features, namely plains, mountains, plateaus. Now plains occupy 43% of the land. And what happens here? On the plains we cultivate crops, we build factories, houses are constructed, factories are constructed. On mountains occupy 30% of the land. These are sources of rivers that flow from higher to lower areas. It has many tourist spots. We enjoy going there for a retreat or, to rejuvenate ourselves during our vacation. So, you see, it has mountains, it gives a very picturesque scene. And plateaus occupy 27% of land. Like we have minerals, fossil fuels, and many forests are found here. So, under land distribution, land is divided into three: plains, mountains, and plateaus. Plains occupy 43% of land area, mountains 30%, and plateaus 27%. Now, land resources are used for the following purposes. Like forests, cultivation is not possible here. And land not available for cultivation. The second category is land which is not available for cultivation. Here we have two categories again. We have barren and wasteland, and land put to non-agricultural uses. Now what is barren and wasteland? Barren land is very infertile. It is infertile land, and wasteland is where factories dump their waste. Now land put to non-agricultural uses. Now land is used for buildings, roads, airports, factories. That comes under non-agricultural uses. Crops are not grown on this land. Now other uncultivated land. Once again we have two types here: pastures and grazing land. And you have three types here actually. You have pastures and grazing land, where sheep and cattle are allowed to graze. And you also have land under miscellaneous tree crops, where plantation crops like bamboo, rubber, and cashew, etc. are grown. The third one under other uncultivated land is cultivable wasteland. Now this land is left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. The fourth one we find is fallow land. What is fallow land? Land where cultivation is done in one or more seasons to retain soil nutrients and make it fertile again. Now cultivation does not happen every year. Here they just leave the land free in order to help regain the fertility of the soil. So we have under this current fallow land and other current fallow. Under current fallow land, the land is left uncultivated for one or less than one agricultural year. The second one is other than current fallow. This land is left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agricultural years. For around 1 to 5 agricultural years, this land is not cultivated. Now we also have net sown area. What does this mean? The land area which is cultivated more than once in an agricultural area is called net sown area. You may get a 1-mark question here. So please note this down. What is net sown area? Land area which is cultivated more than once in an agricultural year. Now let us see the land use pattern in India. So what are the factors that determine the land use pattern in India? We have both physical factors and human factors. Now what are the physical factors? We have the topography, climate and soil type. What is topography? It is the natural and man-made features of land. We have different relief features. Apart from that, people also cultivate land using terrace farming, contour plowing, etc. Those come under man-made. And the climate, temperature, whether it is hot or cold, in a certain seasons they grow certain crops. And the soil types, in each region we have different types of soil. Now human factors, what are they? The population density, how many people live in a particular square kilometer, that is called the density. And how people, the lifestyle of people is, what kind of food production happens, manufacturing happens, all those cultivation process happens on land. And what kind of technological capability they have, what technical know-how they use to grow crops or produce more from raw materials using a particular type of land. And the culture and traditions also make a lot of difference in the land use pattern. Now let us see what is land degradation. Now land degradation is nothing but how people misuse land by either making the soil lose its fertility, causing soil pollution, then too much of irrigation, waterlogging. What happens? What is land degradation? The continuous and long period of usage of land without proper conservation and management. This leads to the decrease in the quality of land. And what happens when it is used for a long period and it is not managed well? That makes the land very infertile or unfit for cultivation. This is called land degradation. That means it brings down the productivity. The fertility goes down and it brings down the productive capacity of land. Or it is either for some time or permanently. Now let us see the causes of land degradation. Now we have various causes. Here we have deforestation. What is deforestation? Trees are cut for mining activities, and due to this the soil gets loosened and it starts getting degraded. Now this condition is found in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. So cutting down of trees for mining activities leads to deforestation and land degradation. The second one is overgrazing. Now cattle and sheep are allowed to graze on lands, and when these sheep and cattle, they pick on the grass, they pull it out in such a way that it erodes the top layer of the soil, thus leading to soil erosion. This kind of situation is found in Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. We have over irrigation. What is over irrigation? Too much of water is used to cultivate the crops, and this leads to water logging, and the top soil gets eroded. Plants don't get oxygen, they become saline and alkaline. So this condition is found in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Apart from that, we have mineral processing industries. Here under this, for processing limestone for cement and soapstone for ceramic industries, certain rocks, this limestone and soapstone are broken, and when this process takes place, it releases dust and it settles on soil. It does not allow water to get into the soil. This is called infiltration, and this makes soil very infertile. The next one is mining industries. Now here, when mining takes place in industries, people just leave the sites open and the pits are open, and the soil becomes loose. This leads to landslides. The next one is industrial effluents. Improper disposal of industrial waste degrades soil. Unnecessary dumping of waste on fertile land also leads to degradation of land. Now, human activities has brought in lot of damage. We have human activities has brought about degradation of land, and also we have aggravated the natural forces to cause damage to land. Now, how can all that be rectified? We can solve those problems by conservation of these resources. How is this possible? This is possible when we can, this is possible through afforestation. What is afforestation? Planting of trees, so that these trees do not allow the soil to run away. It helps from soil erosion. The roots hold the soil firmly and it helps from soil erosion. Now, proper management of grazing land. Now here a particular area has to be defined for grazing. Sheep and cattle should be using only this defined territory for grazing. The next one is proper irrigation facilities. Sprinklers and drip irrigation can be used. This avoids water logging. Too much of water in the fields will erode soil. So sprinklers and drip irrigation methods can be used. Next one is regulating mining activities. Now, mining should be banned on mountainous regions in order to avoid landslides. Next one is planting shelter belts. What are these shelter belts? Planting trees to avoid erosion due to wind. Now they act as, they stop a wind from removing the top layer of the soil. These trees help prevent soil erosion. The next one is stabilization of sand dunes. Growing thorny bushes to hold soil firmly from wind erosion in desert areas is what is called stabilization of sand dunes. So as I told you, when certain plants are grown, the roots get into the soil firmly and hold the soil firmly, thus avoiding soil erosion. I hope this session was useful to you. I'll meet you next with soil as a resource. So if it was really useful to you, please like, share, comment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.